Hey, happy Monday, everybody. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. Now I'm going to update you on what's going on with this next pattern we're going into. Still showing two potentially strong snowstorms coming, and one of them is going to be a Miller type, forming up in the Gulf and going out through the Northeast. Then the one after that, even stronger, but still showing that northern push. So I'm going to show you all the latest information, severe weather potential, and the impacts with the ensembles. So remember, timestamps are in the description below. Make sure you hit the like button on the way down. Thank you so much for your time. You've never been here before. Make sure you subscribe. That way you get all these afternoon updates. I'm going to do this all week long for you guys. And you can see as you go in for tomorrow, these storms are going to start moving in towards California. But they are going to build up across the South Central and go overnight storms towards the deep South for Wednesday morning as well. So this is another pattern that's going to start kicking in, and I will give you all the latest information. Now, if you've never been here before, make sure you subscribe. I've been talking about these storms for a couple of weeks and been updating daily on what's going on with this pattern as we go into January. It's always been showing very strong and Miller storms starting to form up. And you can see we already got a signal of our sudden stratospheric warming going on. I posted this on my community tab the other day. And this right here is going to disrupt our Arctic oscillation and bring down the cold air. Now, whether you're going to be getting snow in the south, the mid-Atlantic, or a nice nor'easter in the northeast, all depends on what type of storm this is going to be. And this is for the first system. This is within the next 7 days. The second system is still after that, guys. There's one thing I want y'all to remember. This first storm, I know there's a lot of videos out about all this crazy amount of snow. There is a lot of snow coming. But the question is it going to be feet of snow, or is it going to be too warm and be kind of a bust for a lot of people? And that's what I'm going to help you figure out for this week. Because this thing is literally 6 days away from now. From today, it's 6 days away. And we all know models don't do very good 6 days away. Now, there's many type of Miller storms you can have, which mean these storms get a surface low in the Gulf and going up the East Coast. You got the A, you got the B, you got it all the way through E. So I'm going to put this link in the description. That way you can go through and see what the impacts are according to what type of Miller storm this is going to be with the cold air and the trough, and who has the best potential for getting that big snowstorm. Now, from what I can see is that we're going into a Miller type B. That's what I see. This will bring you a chance to northern Georgia, maybe even over the Carolinas, even Virginia, West Virginia, maybe even over Kentucky. Now, what this means is it has two different surface lows. So when you get a surface low up here over the Tennessee-Kentucky Valley, or a little bit more to the north, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, this pulls the cold air further to the west, more inland, getting more precipitation from that Gulf moisture, bringing more snow further to the west. And when it goes out, it gets right around your marker. Your marker needs to be right below Boston, straight down, even with the middle of New Jersey. That is your sweet spot. If you get that, you got a proper strong nor'easter in the northeast. Now, the Euro sees this and the GFS sees this as well. That the surface low pressure will strengthen as it goes out towards the coast. So here's a look at us now. The system's still over here affecting Alaska. It's not even come into the U.S. yet. Now, the computer models are trying to figure out this northern jet stream and the subtropical jet, what these energies are going to do when they meet up in the U.S. That's what I'm saying. It's still 6 days away, guys. And we have that next one that's going to be coming after that. So you can see that here. You got that strong system starting to pull in. You got that other system. You got that other system that's going to be weaker. This is what's coming across the south, bringing those storms to California by Tuesday and Wednesday. Also for the south, what I showed you in the beginning of the video, that's going to carry off into the Atlantic, still bringing some more rainfall, maybe even some winds along the coast. But then that first system starts coming in from the west coast all the way from the 5th. Remember, the 6th through the 10th, that time frame is when both of these are going to start doing their impacts. As that goes across towards the east, gets that deep trough all the way by the 6th, get a little bit of chances for severe weather going across the southeast. As that picks up and goes across towards the northeast, there's multiple troughs going on. Look at 1, 2, 3, as we're looking just 6 days away. This is just so far away. Then you got that one right behind that that's going up on that high ridge, still strengthening, still getting tight isobars, being a strong, potent system. Maybe another one behind that as well. This has steadily been showing this going on. Now you see your latest information on the NAO, your North Atlantic Oscillation, that you do have that blocking going on just like we had for the very beginning, bringing that cold air. The cold air is going to be locked in place again. And you can see with the AO, your Arctic Oscillation, just like the cold air we have for the beginning of the year, that cold air is still going to linger around until the 20th and still showing the coldest is right around the 12th, guys. So you can see this here. You got that high pressure blocking your Northern Atlantic Oscillation, and that just directs all that cold air on down into the U.S. And this is right when we have these storm systems coming in from the Pacific. Now the afternoon updates will be quicker. They will be even less than 10 minutes, guys. I'm trying to update you on the pattern, not just the afternoon updates. You can see here with the Euro, you get that surface low built up right on the 6th. You get that high pressure in the Northern Atlantic, start blocking it. It pulls down that cold air, slows down that system. Then they both go out together. It don't stop it and do that stall effect. We've seen that stall weeks ago. That is starting to leave. And then that second setup, look at this, right on the 9th. You got that big high pressure block, classic negative NAO, big system forming in the south, classic strong system bringing cold air and still getting really strong as it goes up towards the Great Lakes. And it's been shown that for a while. We're going to have cyclogenesis from the 9th all the way through the 10th and 11th, a strengthening low pressure system. Pulling cold air on the west side, bringing up precipitation on the eastern side, bringing a big potential storm and some damaging winds, maybe even some blizzards. So you can see here on the 6th with the Euro, it is Saturday, guys, literally going by next weekend. Having storms brewing up in the southeast, getting some snowfall, and then it starts becoming a strong storm and a strengthening low pressure by Sunday on the 7th, going up towards the mid-Atlantic and the northeast, just strengthening up to a very powerful storm. And then that second one, look at this. A lot of strong storms on the southern side, a lot of snow on the western and northern side, gaining strength with severe weather, damaging winds, and the cold air is chasing that one. Could be some freezing rain involved as it's chasing those temperatures. Look at this. There's a lot of chances of freezing rain to come out of that mixture because it's chasing with the cold air. This is the latest update. Remember, this is too far to be accurate. All we can do is update this. Then potentially bringing out that snowfall after that, bringing all these storms on the eastern side of this as well. But here's your problem. When you look at your temperatures so far from the 6th going towards the 7th, those temperatures really warm up as it goes up the coast on that first system. And as it swings out through the northeast, so far the cold temperatures are chasing it. It could meet up just perfect where it could be all frozen. It depends on timing. So far, it could be a little close, guys. But look at this. It could be headed out while you're still too warm in this region and just passing up those temperatures. But while it's out here, bringing that precipitation back and hitting the coast. It's still too far to be sure. And then that second system, look how it warms up when it goes up on that higher ridge. All that system forms up. It warms up on that higher ridge, bringing a chance for a lot of freezing rain, but eventually probably turning into snow. Now look at the GFS. The first system, it shows that the cold air will be there. It will start meeting up quickly during the south on the 6th while that strengthens up. And then as it goes across, it gives a lot of people snow, severe weather for the 7th out through the northeast. Now you see how you got the low pressure right here? Then watch how it transfers over towards the northeast. That would be a Miller type B system and bringing a lot of snow to more people and the northeast. So when we go by the control member of what's going on with the Euro, you can see on that first system does strengthen up in the south towards the Gulf, and it goes out towards the northeast. And look at this. It goes right towards your benchmark, a little bit further to the east, which will bring a lot more precipitation on the wraparound with that cold temperatures. I think you will see some good snow on that first one. That second one still showing it will strengthen up, and we'll get cyclogenesis as it goes up towards the Great Lakes. Just strengthens up all the way into Canada. A very strong and powerful storm. This is your control member. Now, he's still showing the same risk for heavy snowfall with all these hazards. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see which cities are most at risk. And so far, you definitely have the higher elevations of Washington, Oregon, and California the most. The higher elevations of California, that's where you get a moderate level. Then you got it for Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, also for Utah, Arizona, and Colorado. You see it's not hitting Denver with that, though. You also see that it goes towards Oklahoma City as it goes through Kansas, goes through Missouri as well, goes through Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, going over here for Minnesota, Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan, over here towards Grand Rapids and Detroit. All y'all potentially in this chance for this heavy snow. Going all the way for Columbus and northern for Ohio, western Pennsylvania, western New York, and another chance. Remember, we got them 2 storms coming through. Now, the Euro's been showing literally a snowmageddon between both storms. First storm, you see how I missed that coast right there. Then that second storm. That's what I said, guys. Both of these are literally starting 6 days away. But as we check and see what the trends is, you can see now what the Euro is showing. That one storm, see, that would be that Miller type B storm right there, bringing a lot of snowfall. And that second storm coming on through. Maybe impacted once and then twice. I mean, it literally goes towards the end of the run. I know others are going to say, hey, you're definitely going to get this. I'm trying to give you the most accurate information instead of just saying that and hoping I'm right. Look at the Canadian. Showing the same thing. A lot of them are showing a big snowmageddon coming on, which means a lot of heavy snow, a lot of cold temperatures, and potential blizzards as well. Just a very nasty situation. I know a lot of people need this snow. I know a lot of people's jobs depend on the snow. So I do hope you get it so you can keep everything good in your home. A lot of people getting a lot of potential snowfall out of this. I will keep you updated. The afternoon updates will be quicker. I just think the Canadian is on to something. Here's the latest from the GFS showing just a snowmageddon. Everyone you look at, a snowmageddon. Now, the Canadians also seen that transition of the temperatures. Now, potentially bringing some snow to the Carolinas because of a Miller type B system, but also potentially bringing that freezing rain as it transitions because the cold air don't come far enough. So that is a possibility. We got to look at all factors. Still showing the same information on the winds, guys, all the way to the 12th for the East Coast. Euro still showing that first system coming through. On the 6th will be all the winds offshore. That second system starting to pick up on some winds like the GFS has been showing. But wherever there's going to be snow, there's going to be some big blizzards that's going on with that. So you need to stay alerted to these updates. I know a lot of you want this snow. I know it's very exciting. And a lot of you are very overdue for snow. And I hope you get it. This could be very dangerous. Look at the winds with the GFS. GFS has been showing this for a long time. That first system could get all up to the 40, maybe even up to the 50. Both of them being strengthening surface lows. Look at that, 40 and 50. And that second one strengthening as well over the same marking area. And potentially being a huge blizzard problem wherever this snow, once again, is coming for the Northeast. I will keep you updated. It's just too far to take any of this seriously yet. It is all 6 days away. So you can see right here, just for the 6 days, take it all back. Just for the 6 days. All this is starting off in 6 days. Even though it's trending, even though a lot of models are showing it. Models don't have a good history past 5-6 days away. But I don't want to down it. I'm not trying to down it. I'm not trying to tone it down at all. I want to be accurate without bringing you any of the hype. I understand the hype gets the views. I'm not in it for the views. I'm in it to help you. A lot of y'all go a lot of traveling. A lot of y'all need this information. That's the part I care about. Don't care about hyping people up to make money on you guys. God provides. I'm able to pay my rent. I'm happy enough with that. Look at January 6th when you look at your dew points. As it swings across the southeast, bring in some strong dew points. We'll bring the storms as well. Even get some convection in there, a little bit of cape. You get some lift that comes with that storm. And look how it goes into Georgia, into South Carolina, all the way across. Now, if that starts strengthening up, and we do get that surface low strengthening up right there, it could pull that cold air even further down and bring y'all that freezing rain or that snow on a wraparound as that storm system goes off towards the east. And you can see this here with your lightning strikes as you go into the 8th on that second system, the stronger system. Look at these lightning strikes as you go into the 8th. All that pink is indicative to a lot of lightning strikes. When you get to the white, that's your chances for large hail. Look at these storms brewing up as you go through 6 p.m. across the south. This is subject to change. This is still 8 days away, guys. But I need to try and bring y'all as much accurate information because everybody's already talking about these things. Just remember who told you weeks ago that these were coming, okay? potentially bringing some fronts. Look at that. That could be nasty. Winds pushing that out. That could be dangerous. We need to keep our eye on that. Our lightning strikes do let us know where the storms are strengthening and what we can expect potentially. I will keep this updated. Now, the heavy rainfall has not changed as well all the way up until the 10th and 12th with this very heavy flooding that's going to happen and a lot of snow. So just for the next 7 days, you can see all the rainfall with the Euro is bringing a lot more, just like the GFS has been seeing all the way to the northeast, and then that second system adding up. But just for the next 7 days to see what we're kind of looking for our rainfall. And you can see along the west coast, you get a lot of rainfall for Washington, Oregon, Northern California, 2 to 3 inches along the coast. Not all that is going to be snowfall. So remember, this is only for the next 6 days of what you can expect. But there is going to be for the higher elevations, bringing them feet of snow. Now, this is bringing your rainfall towards the south as well, towards the coast of Houston over here for southern and eastern Texas, central and southern Louisiana, central and southern Mississippi. Now, this is going to be good rainfall, but you need it more northern for your droughts. I wish it was more northern, but you can see how it's going central and southern Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, even going towards North Carolina, and central and northern Florida. This is the next 6 days of potential rainfall coming through and maybe going up the coast a little bit further. GFS is still trending that as well. Still takes it a little bit further inland towards Tennessee, Kentucky Valley, a little bit towards Ohio Valley, and then that second system just adding to the same area. So still showing that. Now, so far we do have a day of flash flooding. This is day 5. This is for Friday for flash flooding, all the way from Houston to Beaumont, all the way up towards Tyler and Longview for Texas, southern Arkansas, all across Louisiana, and for Mississippi for flash flooding. This is for Friday. Now let's go through the ensembles so you can see what to expect, and you can see all of the ensembles. But remember, we want to go by the control member. Control member, your more likely outcome, showing to be higher elevations of Washington and Oregon, 1 to 2 feet. And it will be a little bit less for California, but it will bring some snow into Utah and Nevada, Idaho, even western Montana and western Wyoming. All the blue is all 2 to 5 inches. All that purple is 7 to 9, and the pink goes up to a foot. Now you can see over here for Arizona and New Mexico, some of them show that you're not getting a lot of snowfall. Matter of fact, when you look at the update showing all the snowfall, look at the control member showing that it will be less for Arizona and less for New Mexico. Texas and then South Central, I'm still showing the southern snowfall with chance will be later in January. There's only a couple of them showing that you might have some snow going towards the Four Corners all the way towards the South Central. But you can see with the control member, more than likely, not going to be much snow for the Four Corners or the South Central. Now over here for the upper Midwest, you can see how it's almost a 50-50 through all these ensembles, where you get a little bit or a lot. Control member right now is showing that it is going to bring a lot across the North Central Plains, upper Midwest, all the way towards the Great Lakes. And the update. So when we did the update for comparison, you can see the control member, it took it a little bit further to the north. The trend, matter of fact, is that this is going to go even further to the north on that second system. This is the second one. So here's a shot for the Mid-Atlantic in 6 days. Please take this with a grain of salt. This is in 6 days. It's not close enough for me to have confidence in it. Showing so far on that first system, some showing it could be some snow, some showing it could be big snow, some showing it could be no snow. Control member, however, is showing it could hit northern Georgia, hit the Carolinas, western Carolinas, hit some of Tennessee and Kentucky, get Ohio, get Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Virginia. And that's all because of that second surface low forming, pulling the precipitation, pulling these cold temperatures, making this snowstorm bigger. That would be a Miller type B. However, take this with a grain of salt. Look at the update. Some of these show a big snowstorm. Look at the control member now, showing you will get nothing. So the first system for the Northeast, see how it does hit up a little bit. Then that second one comes in and additional snowfall adds up to it. Here's the update. Here's the 6Z. And this is subject to change, guys, but we got to stay with the updates. Some of them show a massive snowfall. Look at the control member. It's all going into Canada. So Canada, keep your eyes open for this. Matter of fact, look at the latest update with the control member of the Euro from January 2nd through January 12th, showing that more northern push on that second system. All this gray is 1 inch, 2 inches on that gray up here. So if I did all this blue, it looked like a big storm, but we're talking 1-2 inches. all the heaviness going into Canada and maybe getting that system in the northeast, but not along the coast. If it hugs up the coast, it's going to bring these warmer temperatures with it, and it will not get that snowstorm. Look at that. That one little pocket right there. So I will update you every single afternoon as well as my daily post. So if you've never been here before, make sure you click that bell so you get the updates. Tell me what you think in the comments. Is this going to be a snowmageddon, or is this going to be a bust with some severe weather and maybe some snow? But if you do like these updates, show support, hit that like button. Remember, I did show you these storms in this pattern coming 2-3 weeks ago, and now I'm giving you the latest updates. So show support, hit that like button. Now, real quick before you go, St. John chapter 1, verses 6 through 13. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power, to them that believe on his name, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. Amen. Remember, all glory always goes to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh, and I hope he always keeps you safe every single day of your life, you and your family, and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen.